Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. From the online game Disney Mirrorverse, this is the Buzz Lightyear action figure. Produced by McFarlane Toys and right now is available at your local Target. So if you are interested in this action figure, after watching this review, you just want to take a look at it and make a decision regarding purchase, so it is available right now. So let me help you in your decision process with regards to purchasing this action figure. So if you are interested in something that is different, if the Buzz Lightyear that are available at Target is not your thing, it's just way too toyish or kiddish or for 5-year-olds, then this is, I think, a figure of Buzz Lightyear that is worthy for collectors like us. So let us figure out whether this stands to a toy collector's taste. So when you take your figure out of the box, this is how it's going to look like. So the figure is in a separate plastic container, and the rest of the items associated with your action figure purchase is on the box card art, or possibly a display stand of some sort holding the back piece, the wings, a card of some sort, and the figure stand. I think this is the same figure stand that we have with DC Multiverse action figures still produced by McFarlane. So before you pop your figure out of this plastic packaging, just take note that this guy is secured by ties. So we have ties over here on the right leg, and we have a tie that secures the full figure by the torso, so over here where my X-Acto knife is pointing. So it's time to take out your suture knife if you have one. It would make the job of unpacking this material and this action figure easier, and not scratching your figure in any way. Okay, so there are only 2 points of packing for this action figure, so just on the right leg and on the waistline. So that's just my word of advice. Before you start to, because of excitement, you just try to pop this figure out of its shell, you'll be surprised that it won't come off because of the ties. So we have Buzz Lightyear out of the packaging. So let's talk of the figure first. So the back of the figure is going to look this way. So this is the area where the flight pack is going to be attached. So we have 4 points of contact on the side and the main contact point, which is this area. When you pick this figure up at your local Target, even if it's still inside the box, you would really notice that this figure is really heavy, and when you take the figure out of packaging, just the figure itself right now, it is really heavy. So McFarlane Toys really has amassed a lot of plastic material to make this Buzz Lightyear action figure. As you could see from the side, that's a mass of plastic. Still, without that flight pack, this is really a bulky figure. This figure stands at around 6.5 inches tall. So this is a representative of your basic McFarlane 7-inch figure. So I just recently reviewed this Bloodshot action figure, and we have the newly released Buzz Lightyear action figure. So you would really note the difference, the 1/2 inch difference between the height of figures, between these two figures, I mean. Now, as for point of articulation, this is where these two figures are similar. Especially if you have several action figures of the McFarlane produced DC multiverse characters, then you would be familiar with how this Buzz Lightyear is going to articulate. So just like your 7-inch figure, articulation points are the same, especially on the legs. But with the leg area on this figure, you have more space to really rotate this thigh because it is free of obstruction. Unlike your DC Multiverse action figures or these action figures, wherein the leg area is really hindered by the amount of detail on over here, so not much on the thigh circulation. But with this action figure, with Buzz Lightyear, you have that capacity of really rotating that thigh because of the clearance over here, even if he has some armor piece on him. The joints is just a single point, so don't expect 2 points of articulation on this. So I just pointed out the similarities in the two figures, but actually this is where they differ. So just a single point of articulation for the knee, single point of articulation for the elbow. We have a bicep cut for rotation. This figure has butterfly joints of some sort, hand rotation, and as similar to the DC Multiverse action figures, the hands is on a ball joint, so with the foot of the figure. If you could see the ball over there where my X-Acto knife is pointing. We also have 2 points of articulation for the torso, the diaphragm cut, and the waist cut. So both of them are on a ball joint. So articulation with this figure is really good. But out of packaging, when you take this figure out of packaging, you have to straighten this torso up a bit. Now, I thought that the head on this figure would only have sideways movement, but it is not. Actually, we have a little bit of rotation for the head, so he could look up a little bit and look down a little bit, but because of the armor pieces, the front of this chest armor, it is hindered, the head is hindered to articulate lower, especially this area over here and that very bulbous chin of his. So anyway, but I'm really satisfied with this action figure, that even if he still has some articulation points that could be improved on, it is still a good articulating figure. The only thing that I really miss with this figure would be the crystal glass dome that covers this area over here. It would have been really perfect if that was included with this figure, even if we really amp up the price for just for that dome crystal glass dome piece for the Buzz Lightyear. It would have been really nice for McFarlane Toys to do it. So let's take out the other accessories and attach it to the figure. So just another word of advice: when you're taking a look at your Buzz Lightyear action figure at your local Target, just take a look at the center sticker, because the stickers on the center emblem is sometimes attached in a different way, or it is not centered. So if there are several Buzz Lightyears for you to choose on, just pick the one that has a really good center attachment point for the sticker. But if you don't have any, only one Buzz Lightyear is available, then just get it and try fixing it later. But that is what I noticed with the figures that was available at the stores that I visited. The stickers would really be out of place. So this is the flight pack that you attach to the back of the figure. So once you take it out of the packaging, then you would also be surprised that this is really a really weighty thing too. It is heavy. So just take a look at it. That's the mass of plastic that actually is put into this flight pack for Buzz Lightyear. Now the wingtips of the flight pack are transparent. As to why they made these wingtips to be transparent, I really don't know. So I think that in the gameplay or online, it's going to be this transparent. But if you would like a more traditional Buzz Lightyear, then you are free. Anyway, it is your own figure. You are free to paint this wing as the same color white of the rest of the flight pack, or possibly this color green. Well, really depends on your own liking. So do not expect any point of articulation for these wingtips. They are just snap-on pieces to the figure. We don't have any form of articulation for it. Just take it out of packaging and just snap it into place. So that is how the flight pack looks, still unattached to the back of the figure. So just as I said, I guess I'm going to paint this wing as the same color of the main body of the flight pack, this white color. Okay, so we finally attached the flight pack to the back of the figure, and as you notice, this figure is starting to really tip backwards because of the weight of the flight pack. So you just have to rearrange the diaphragm and the torso area to redistribute the weight on this figure, because this area from here to here, that's going to be the really heaviest part on this figure, putting a lot of stress on the other joints, especially the waist joint, the diaphragm joint, and the leg joint. So I was just observing this figure, letting it stand for 5 minutes when I placed the flight pack on, and I really tried to observe the weight distribution of this figure, because if I'm going to display this figure in my stand, I don't want this to be always toppling over either forwards, backwards, or sideways. So he has to an infinity and beyond pose right now, and actually I raised this hand to distribute the weight and raised this forearm a bit, and played with the torso joints to really distribute weight so it won't fall off while I am doing this review. So still a good piece to have in your collection. I just wish that the the wingtips would be not transparent, and he had that glass dome over his head, but as is, it's okay actually. Now if you want a Buzz Lightyear without this wingtips, it's going to look this way. And actually, the weight is going to be more better. But once you put out the wings of the wings of the figure, you just have to put the forearms down to redistribute weight. Or if you want to pose this figure in a certain way, just play with it and find the better center of gravity, because this area is really the weighty piece for this action figure. So let's get on with the photos and the video shots.